Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CPS report, and we are back with another fight preview. This time it is the UFC Fight Night, Whittaker versus Aliskerov. This taking place this Saturday, 22nd of June, live from Saudi Arabia at 9 o'clock. With me breaking this main card down is none other than 80. Let me bring him in here. How's it going, 80?
What's going on, bro? Happy to be here as always.
Happy to be as always. The UFC put together another fantastic fight card for us this week. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, it's surprising considering it's a fight night. It's pretty stacked, but yeah, I
It's
think it's the
pretty
first
stacked.
one in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, they got to do it big.
They got to do it big. Okay, let's kick it off with the main card. We got obviously Robert Whittaker taking on Ikram Aliskerov. And looking at these two fighters, sizing the two of them up, we've got Whittaker, who is ranked number three on the one side. You know, beating the who's who in the middleweight. Really, the only person that he really lost to, the only fighters he really lost to are the champions in Easy and Dricus du Plessis. Whittaker also coming in with fantastic striking accuracy, defense, just the ultimate kind of guy. Just losing against the top of the food chain kind of guys, and then obviously Ikram, fantastic boxer, also looks like a straight up killer, very strong. Two wins from two in the UFC, also very good striking, defense and accuracy. How do you think this fight plays out for the two fighters? Who do you think is going to win and how?
Yeah, this is a bit difficult to say because obviously Aliskerov took the fight on short notice.
Yeah,
Um, I imagine that Robert Whittaker was preparing for a certain type of fight against Hamzat.
yeah,
Obviously grappling heavy, so yeah, he'll definitely be ready in the grappling department. But I think it's going to be an interesting challenge now with a new opponent.
hmm,
Aliskerov is on a seven-fight win streak, as far as I understand.
yeah,
So yeah, it's to me actually quite surprising that he took the fight. So credit to him for doing that. He's putting a lot
hmm,
on the line because of course, if he wins here, that means that he's back in the title contention. And if
yes,
he loses, it's going to be a lot more of a tough road for him to get back into the conversation. Um, so yeah,
hmm,
I'm really, really torn based on the fact that it's short notice.
yes,
But yeah, I rate Whittaker probably shows his quality as to why he's been hovering around the top of the division for so long.
hmm,
And yeah, I
hmm.
think he gets the job done. Yeah, I'm not
How?
sure how exactly, but yeah, I think he'll find a way.
Yeah, it is a 5 round fight, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so I mean we know Whitaker has got a gas tank that can go the 5 rounds. But the thing about Ikram is that he's got this knockout power. You know, he's very strong. He's got long arms. He's got a very good distance management. I mean, you say it's a short notice. And he took the fight, and then let's see what happens if he's able to go through. I mean, his best chances is probably going to be in the first 2 rounds. Eh? What do you think?
Yeah, look, they said he's been training for a fight either way. It's not like he's been
Mm,
resting or like out. So I don't think that. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say that cardio won't be an issue. So yeah, I think if
mm,
Whittaker takes him into the deeper rounds, then yeah, it's probably gonna be more of an obvious result in that situation because Whittaker's
yes,
probably gonna have a better gas tank. So yeah, I
yeah.
think I'm inclined to agree with that. But I think in the first 2 rounds would probably be Aliskerov's best chance.
Yeah, of course. Especially with it coming off beating Paulo Costa, still fresh. And it's interesting because he took the fight, which wasn't long ago, right, against Paulo Costa. So it's almost like quick succession that he's taking this fight, which showing that Whitaker's got a game plan, or he's like he's reset his mind to go for another title charge. And I think that just might
Mhm.
showcase a very, very intense Robert Whitaker. Um, do
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
any? Do you see any one of these guys? I don't think Whitaker's probably going to do, but do you see any one of these guys shooting for a takedown?
Doubtful, bro. Doubtful on that. Um, yeah, look, it's a possibility. I mean, Whittaker's obviously training a lot of wrestling,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, he might want to, make use of all the time spent doing it. But yeah, I don't see it happening, to be honest.
You don't see it happening
Outside,
to once.
outside chance maybe, but nah, not for me.
I don't see it happening. I think it's going to be one of those kickboxing kind of fights. Here's the question: if Whitaker wins this fight, right, does he get the winner of Easy and Dricus?
Um, yeah, I mean, who else gets that fight, bro? Strickland.
or does he fight
Maybe
Strickland first?
yeah, that would be the two options, obviously. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Strickland having won his fight probably done enough for me to earn a
Strickland.
title. Yeah. So I think maybe you give Rob Whittaker the winner of Strickland Duplessis. Oh yeah, but Izzy's already fighting Drickus.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
yeah, let him fight then, bruh. If Drickus has a fight already booked for 305, let
yes.
him fight for number one contender, bruh.
I think that's probably going to be the next matchup. Eh? Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
sounds like the best
that
money
sounds
move for the
logical. Yeah,
UFC. Yeah, of
yeah.
course, of course. Okay, cool. So we're both obviously in agreement here that
Just one question from my side, bruh. For you, like I've seen also in the past that Robert Whittaker like has this tendency to be very one-dimensional. You know what I mean? With
Mhm.
this burst that he has,
Yes,
like he'll stay at distance, throw a jab, and then he'll come with his burst.
yes.
1, 2, 3, maybe a kick, and I mean
Maybe a
it
kick.
always ends
Yeah,
with a kick at the end. Yeah. So
yes.
yeah, it's like, what's your take on that? Do you think that he has like there's more aspects that he could add to his arsenal, or do you think that he's fine the way he is in terms of making a title charge with the skill
Mm-hmm.
set that he has at the moment?
It's a very good question. Well, if he's going to take on the two the champions that's up there right now, he's going to have to obviously evolve that because it's a pattern that I think easy exposed. Dricus overpowered it. You know what I mean? And you're right. He pretty much uses that pattern in all his fights. However, I will point out in the Paulo Costa fight, he utilized a lot more overhand rights than what he did from the bursts, if you can remember.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You
fair.
know, what I noticed different from Whittaker in that fight is that he utilized a lot more power shots than what he normally does. So it's almost
Mm,
like he has the blitzes in the arsenal and he utilizes that as like the default fallback if he's in trouble. But I think
mm,
against in Paulo Costa, he showed that he's utilized a bit more power shots, which he's never really thrown in any of his other fights. And I think
mm.
that's something that's added new to his game. Is that enough to maybe take on the two champions? I keep saying two. He's not the champion, but I mean, you know, he's been there so long. But those are the only two guys he lost against, and I mean, they look like they're going to be quite tough for anybody. You know what I mean? So it's a very good question. Let's see if he's able to utilize that in this fight. I think Alex Kedov he's a scary dude, man. I mean, you know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
it's a great
He's this
fight, bro. For the
scary
fans,
fella. Yeah.
fantastic, bro, fantastic.
What does the bookie say?
To be honest with you, I haven't had a look at it, bro. Surprisingly,
Okay.
um, but I imagine that Whittaker's probably the favorite.
Yeah, -155. I think that's still shown on on UFC's page at the moment. But okay, so we in agreement that Whittaker wins this fight, and you will probably make it Strickland next, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. Oh, that cool. All right, then we move on. We move it on here. Co-main event sees Sergey Pavlovich taking on Alexander Volkov. This is a mouth-watering fixture, brother. One time, because I ranked these guys pretty high. They're pretty. I think they're what's it 3 and 5? If I'm not mistaken. Sergey's ranked 3, and Volkov's ranked 5th in the
Yeah,
heavyweight division. Both of them taking a loss to Aspinall. So obviously, what that means, you can see that these guys are up there and about for like title contention. I think
yeah,
the winner of this fight definitely puts himself in the position for either number one contender or possibly getting Aspinall if Aspinall doesn't get what between John Jones and Miocic. But coming into this fight though, I think both these guys are probably going to end up striking. I don't see any one of them really shooting for any takedowns. I mean,
hmm,
Volkov, we know he's a superior and legendary kickboxer, and then we obviously have Sergey with the Russian power, also just blitzes people forward. Very strong. 48% striking accuracy and 75% takedown defense. That shows you that this guy is a solid war. However, he's got 0% takedown accuracy. Well, that shows you this guy doesn't really look for any wrestling. However, he does have it in his back pocket. I do think this fight plays out because I got a feeling that Volkov might just have the distance control
hmm.
and piece him up over the 3 rounds.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing. I think if Volkov manages to just because he is the superior kickboxer, so if he
Hmm.
manages the distance, stays on the outside, and just picks him off, it is only 3 rounds. I say
Yeah.
only 3 rounds, which it's not short, but like it's not 5. So yeah, Like I
Yes,
looked, yeah, I looked him to kind of make the most of being a better technical fighter. But yeah,
yes.
bro, Pavlovich, bro, I'll never count him out, bro. He's though basically Volkov has to be perfect. You know
Yes,
what I mean? In those 3 rounds, not perfect, but as close to perfect as possible. Because if he gets touched, bro, that's the end of the fight.
it could be
You know
lights
what I mean?
out, eh? And he
Yeah,
has been
yeah,
knocked down before, eh? I think Tom Aspinall put him away, or Cyril Gunn put him away. Not
yeah. I
mistaken. Let's
think
double
I
check
think
that.
Ganya TKO.
Yes, yes, yes. No, I totally agree with you. If Sergey lands any one of those combinations, it could be a hectic match. And I don't know if you could agree here, but it feels like Sergey has a slight speed advantage, even though he's the bigger guy. The way he moves is pretty quick, and the way Volkov
Yeah.
fights is not necessarily fast, but he's very methodical. Like he really
Mm,
chooses his movement, he chooses his distance, he utilizes the deep kick to set up almost any of his attacks, and doesn't necessarily do it very quickly, even though it's snappy, but his movement isn't as quick. So
yeah.
I think it's going to be a battle for him to kind of manage the raging bull in Sergey. What do you think?
Yeah, it's I guess then it comes down to timing versus speed, right? Again,
Mm,
like
mm,
if Pavlovich is the faster guy,
yes.
Volkov just has to make sure that his timing's right, and of course his movement again has to be as close to perfect as possible. Because if he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, guys, again that's the end of the fight. So yeah, again it's very exciting to watch, bro. I'm very interested to see how this goes down.
Do you have a winner?
Um, Sure, it's so difficult, but I'm actually gonna go with Pavlovich, bro, to knock him out in the first round.
That is a mad one. That's a
Yeah,
mad call. I wonder what the odds is for that. First time knockout to Pavlovich. Oh,
I got a
that's
feeling about it, bro. I might have to put some money down.
yeah. Just looking at the two fighting styles, it does take Volkov a little bit of time to get started. If you remember most of his fights, he's a bit of a slow starter, and
Mm,
Pavlovich isn't really a slow starter.
yeah, I look
So
for him to
yeah,
come out and finish him, bro. And
first
like
round.
just again to that point, bro. If he's a slow starter,
Hmm,
it's not gonna be that kind of margin, I don't think, bro. So I think Pavlovich catches him in the first round.
Okay, very interesting. I'm trying to think of like a.
Look, Volkov could the second scenario I think was Volkov could do it over three decision.
So you, do you think that's probably one of the only ways he could win it? What are the
No,
outcomes
no,
for?
bro, this is heavyweight, bro. You never rule a
Yeah,
knockout out, bro. So
of
you know what I
course.
mean. You can definitely catch him TKO. It could be anything, bro.
Mm,
But I
mm,
think I don't know. It's just a gut feeling, bro. It's either gonna be a
mm.
first round knockout from Sergey, or Volkov's gonna do it over three
Over
decision.
3 rounds. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that because if I can remember some of the fights where Volkov got involved in the first fight, like it's just wild exchange, came out second best most of the times. Like I said,
Mm,
when he's victorious, you will see is when it's in his style or his game plans getting executed, which is usually the K1 kickboxing style, where he's
yeah,
out pointing to the point and then wearing him down to the point where late third round, people are cracking under the pressure from the amount of strikes he's throwing. And that's usually when he picks up the pace. So that's why I'm inclined to agree with you. I think Sergey might just be way too aggressive in that first round. So yeah, I think I'm also gonna go for first round finish, Sergey Pavlovich.
put the money
I don't
down,
want to
bro.
agree with you. I
Put
don't
it
really want to agree with you to make it like I have to. If we were to make a bet, I have to pick something else. But I don't really see Volkov knocking Pavlovich out in the first round. I think he outpoints him, maybe buttons him up into the second, and then gets the finish in the third, or outpoints
Yeah,
him.
again, it's heavyweight, bro. But yeah, like, who do you think has a better gas tank of the two of them?
Oh, the styles are very different. I'm leaning towards Pavlovich because he utilizes the whole game of MMA. So like he doesn't rely only on kickboxing. And to
Mm,
wrestle and kickbox, you have to have almost double the gas tank to do the two to combine the two arts. And the
mm,
gas tank where you just stand in and you're walking around, you're not necessarily like defending takedowns or taking anyone down. Um, that's also a different kind of gas tank. And how do you measure the two together? You know what I mean? How do you really compete the two? And that's why we have
okay.
MMA. And I think probably which is gas tank's a bit better.
Yeah. So I mean that might be a factor if it gets that far, bro. So
Mm.
yeah, maybe Pavlovich even finishes him late in the fight then. But yeah, I got a feeling, bro. I got
Exciting.
a feeling, bro. First round,
Yo, it's very
basically went through
exciting.
every possible scenario there.
Very exciting fight. Can't wait to see
Everything
it.
but a
Can't wait to see it.
submission. Yeah.
Everything, but it's exactly because these guys don't go down to the ground. These guys don't go down. Anyway, let us know what you guys think in the comments. How do you think this fight finishes between Sergey Pavlovich and Alexander Volkov? We move on. 80. We have next Calvin Gastelum taking on Daniel Rodriguez. I think this is a return fight for Calvin Gastelum after taking a loss in his last one against Sean Brady, if I'm not mistaken. And also, Calvin Gastelum is on a 4-fight losing streak coming into this one, which is not something you really want to say about Calvin Gastelum. Remembering back when he was competing for the title against Israel Adesanya, winning the Tough House. I think that was season 18, and really good kickboxer, really good wrestling. Really good fighter. But I think going into when he actually got into the UFC, Calvin Gastelum was battling to find a weight class. He was up and down between welterweight and middleweight, which was very strange. And I thought maybe we just stayed in the welterweight with the work for him. This is a welterweight fight, and he's taking on Dan Rodriguez. And Rodriguez never really was never really a household figure. You know what I mean? Also a guy that is up and down. Let me really put on a win streak. It's like you know,
Yeah.
relied a lot on his kickboxing, 50% striking accuracy, 50% takedown defense. Yeah, never really made waves in the UFC, but was in and around him to bottom of the table. How do you think this fight plays out? I personally think Calvin Gastelum might have the edge because he's younger and yeah, he's got good boxing and good wrestling, and Daniel Rodriguez doesn't really have anything but boxing. How do you think this one goes?
Yeah, I think like you said, I think Calvin Gastelum is probably the more well-rounded fighter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he gets the job done. Having said that, bro, Rodriguez is also a dog, bro, and he's like not afraid
Mm-hmm.
of a fist fight. And we
Mm-hmm.
have seen like Calvin Gastelum can also get caught in those moments where he's not as methodical and he
Yes.
just kind of stands toe to toe with someone and swings.
And then he gets caught. Yeah.
Yeah, and besides him getting caught, that's what I'm kind of hoping for, bro. I'm just hoping the two of them go stand toe to toe and just make a show of it, bro.
Max best fights, you say?
Because it's like, okay, because it's like, what, like, is Calvin Gastelum ever gonna be in a title conversation here, bro?
I
Like,
don't think so.
how far away from that is he? And D-Rod either, bro. I don't think he's gonna be. So why don't you just go out there and
No.
put on a show, bro? You know what I mean?
Mm. But for the fans, basically. I
Yeah.
mean, is it
So yeah.
return fight?
But to answer your question, I think Calvin gets it done. Like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
think he's the more well-rounded fighter. He's
Yeah.
had more like high caliber opponents. So he has had the experience of being in there
Mm-hmm.
with some like
Mm-hmm.
absolute dogs. And I think that
Yeah.
experience is going to show and he's going to get it done. I think he probably takes it to decision though.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you how does he get the win? Decision makes the most sense considering it's not like he's coming into this fight on like a hot streak and he's used to just putting oaks away at this point. So it's a while. I mean, he only fought like towards the end of last year, I'm not mistaken. So really good points that you made there. Like just go out and put the show on him, and both of them aren't really going for a title. What's Daniel Rodriguez lost to Neil Magny and Ian Gaddy in his last two,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
those
and
two
I mean,
guys.
if they
Yeah,
do get like a liquor finish, then who knows? You know what I mean? Maybe they
you might
can
get a
like,
bonus.
yeah. I mean, I mean, maybe they can get like a top five opponent after this if they make like a headline, like finish.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? So yeah, but at least go out there and try to do something intense, something crazy. You know what I mean? But again,
absolutely.
that's me fucking sitting on the sideline, wanting to see
Yeah,
blood. You know what I mean? but yeah,
you violent savage.
but yeah, again, Calvin gets it done by decision,
hmm
and yeah,
hmm
I think unlucky D-Rod.
Yeah, I mean the styles make it for fisticuff. Really, do you think about the only thing is that we're saying this because we've seen Calvin Gastelum in the past put some good boxing combinations together, and and manage his distance really well, manage his timing really well. So that's why we've seen that, but that also makes for, like I said, a good boxing setup between these two gentlemen. I think that's what we're going to see. So you might get your wish, dude. You might get your wish here.
Yeah, I hope so.
We hope so, but we also move on. I'm gonna go Calvin Gastelum to win. The next fight that's taking place is, help me out here with this pronunciation. Shara Magomedov taking on Jolton Latterbach, right? Lutterbach.
Yeah, I
Interesting
think
surname
that's
for a
decent,
Brazilian
bro.
guy. Interesting surname. Okay, Shara Magomedov, right? I think he's only fought once or twice in UFC. I'm not mistaken. 10 wins by KO, 7 first round finishes, 73% striking accuracy. Beast, absolute beast. I just don't like how the media's painting this guy to be this scary dude and like this. I think there was a post that was posted up about someone saying that he might just be a bad guy in some new movie. Like, Oaks just take a piss, dude. Why are people taking a piss?
That's
But
the
anyway,
internet, bro.
it's the internet. He's a lethal fighter nonetheless. Like really, really lethal fighter. Good boxing, really good strike wrestling as well, and just very, very, very aggressive. I looked into the other guy, Jolton. Never really seen him fight, but I looked at some tape and I realized he actually fought Rickers Duplessis in KSW.
What?
Yeah, they fought for a title a while back, and he lost. Unfortunately, Rickers put him away round two and
Of course,
grounded
bro.
strikes. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see that because I was like, firstly, this dude's record is insane. 14 wins by KO, 13 wins by submission, 23 first round finishes. I was like, what?
Sheesh.
Who is this lad? And then seeing him lose to Drickers, but also what I wanted to pay attention was just to what his style is like. Kickboxing. He's a bit big, but so he reminds me a lot of Masvidal. He's got a Masvidal style of fighting. But going to this one, how do you think it plays? I got a feeling that Magomedov just might just maul him in the first round, put him away in the first round. How do you think it plays out?
But I have to be honest with you, I know zero about either of these guys.
Okay.
So I'm not really qualified to give any opinions here.
All right.
But
All
yeah,
right.
bro. Magomedov, I'm just looking at his stats, 7 first round finishes.
Yeah.
So yeah, the odds would suggest another first round finish. I mean, this other bro doesn't even have his picture on the UFC card, bro. What the fuck is going on? Like, what? Why not, bro? Like a
you know,
mystery, bro. You know what I mean?
I, I don't think he has any recorded fights in the UFC. That's probably why he's
But
not there.
surely they could find a picture of the man.
A picture, at
You know
least.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Help this guy get a picture, guys. UFC, put a picture up there for the man. Okay,
So
now in that
man,
case, we can move on, Eddie. We can move on. So we're moving on to the closing, or the opening bout. It's closing for us, but the opening bout of the main card, and that sees Johnny Walker taking on Volkan Ozdemir in the light heavyweight division. This is also top fight, Eddie. What do you think? This is also high rank, higher level opponents. Johnny Walker, although he took losses, or first one wasn't really accounted, but although he lost to Magomed Ankalaev, he's still ranked number 7. He's still got a good, how do you say? He's got a good fan base. He's got a very big following. Pretty exciting fighter. Vulcan. I'm actually quite amazed to see him still competing, really, because he hasn't really like since like competing with DC and what was his name? That Spanish boy. Can't remember when John Jones and guys were all in at the same time. That's when he was really like competing. You know what I mean? And then went on a little bit downward spiral. Coming back now, fighting Johnny Walker, I think is a good opponent for him because if he beats Johnny Walker, it proves that he's still in the top 10, possibly going into the top 5 of the light heavyweight division. So there's a lot on the line coming for both these fighters because both of them would catapult themselves and give themselves a good case to call out someone within the top 5 like heavyweight division. So how do you think this fight plays out?
yeah. First of all, shout out to Jedi, bro. He's main guy. Johnny Walker's on the card. Um, so yeah, bro, Johnny Walker, obviously, like you said, very exciting guy.
Absolutely.
Just super explosive, very
Hmm.
dangerous.
Hmm.
Yeah, but great striking and super unpredictable.
Absolutely, yeah.
Um, Vulcan, I'm not too sure about, but I haven't seen that much of him.
Okay.
So yeah, so I don't really know too much about him, but yeah, but
It's a
I'm
good boxer,
backing
very
Johnny
good
Walker.
kickboxer.
Yeah, it should be a good fight because like I don't imagine either of them are going to shoot for takedowns then.
No, not at all.
'Cause Johnny Walker doesn't wrestle that much. So yeah, I think, but Johnny Walker, yeah, but he's again, very exciting. So hopefully he does something exciting for the boys.
Yeah, look, he's coming into the fight with like 16 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission, 17 first round finishes. So all his finishes are pretty much within the first round. Well, a lot of it, only outside two. But that just shows you he
Yeah,
goes into people away within the first round, and like you say, he's a very wild striker. A little bit
and
on Volkan, like he's been also like competing at the top of the food chain. He's only really lost to DC and Yuri Prohaska, and that was when they were also taking a run at their title reign at that time. So that gives you an idea of where you can sort of see Volkan Uzumir. Like he's been fighting against the top of the heap for a very long
mm,
time. You know.
I mean, he has 13 first round finishes as well, bro.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is this is looking like another first round finish, bro, and a very short pay per view overall.
A 1 hour main event.
Yeah, quick power 1 hour, bro.
That would be insane.
Probably be
Imagine a
more
lot of these
ads,
fights go first.
more
Imagine a
ads
lot of
than
these
fighting.
fights, more ads and fighting. That would be nuts if it ends up going that quick. Because a lot of the fighters now going through the fight card, especially on the main card, it looks like a lot of these fighters are notorious for first round finishes,
Mm.
except for Whittaker.
Yeah, I think the Whittaker and the Calvin Gastelum fight probably go the distance.
Probably got the
Um,
distance. Yeah, I can see it. I see it. So who's your pick? Are you gonna go with Johnny Walker?
yeah, Johnny Walker, that's my guy. Shout out to Johnny Walker.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Then I'm trying to think now. I think Vulcan is a bit more decorated and a bit more crisp with the striking. But Johnny Walker is striking. He can put your lights up, but he's very wild, and
Mm.
that costs a lot of energy. Whereas as Vulcan is a little bit more, stays in the pocket. He's a bit tighter with his strikes. Doesn't really waste his energy. But I've seen him gas after round two, especially when people tend to wrestle with him. But coming into this one, though, I think he's a bit more of a cleaner boxer. But anyway, that still goes with what we're saying. It's going to probably be a first round or second round finish. I'm going to go with Volkan on this one instead of Johnny Walker. Sorry, Jedi, but I'm going to go with Volkan on this one. I think he's just a cleaner striker, more polished striker, and for that, I think he's probably going to land. When they get into that wild exchange, you're just going to see a nice uppercut come, just make Johnny
Mm.
Walker get a fright, and that's where he's going to chase him down and close it out either round one or round two. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so we
anyway,
can both agree early finish.
yes, yeah, early finish for sure, early finish for sure. But anyway, that is our time. AD, thank you so much for taking these fights down. Appreciate it as always. That is our time, ladies and gentlemen. You can catch us when we do our recap on Monday, first thing in the morning. You can catch these fights live this Saturday, 22nd of June, from Saudi Arabia on all the sporting platforms, of course. But in South African time, it is at 9 p.m. On that note, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until then, take it easy, stay safe, and we'll see you then. Cheers. Safe, AD.
Safeties, bro.